Okay. In response to Cheryl's question about the template, just wanted to do a quick overview. Um, this is my new version of the template that will be available at the end of the May. I'm sorry, at the beginning of April on my website. It'll be $50, but I also have a coupon code that I'll offer everybody to get it for $25. Now, it's not that much different than the one that I've given away for free. I have added a couple of styles, including some styles for texts, and just made a couple of tweaks. And I also included the formatting checklist on the template. All right, so the basic structure of the template is it's set up in 3 text frames, okay? So actually the newer template has a 4th text frame, which I'll get into in a minute. So the first text frame is your title and your copyright. Your second text frame is your table of contents, because your table of contents always needs to be in a frame by itself. And then your main text frame is page 1 of the actual document, and this is where you would place the manuscript. And then I have a text text frame for the back matter. So in the old template, there were 3 text frames, and in the new template, there's 4, just because I included the back matter as a separate template. You don't have to, it's a separate text frame. You don't have to set it in a different text frame for the back matter. I've gotten in the habit of doing it just to make it easier for clients to update their back matter. And I've been using the Docs flow, so I could actually send them a link to their back matter using the Docs flow, and they can update their back matter whenever they want. And then I can generate a new PDF without having to do too much work, because they just only updated their back matter. So that is kind of the basics of the template. Now, let's say you wanted to add a signature page. Like sometimes the author may want a signature page, and I do this a lot with clients who typically do a lot of in-person book signings or give a lot of signed paperbacks away. I will add a signature page. And what a signature page is also called a half title page, and it is what the author would use to sign. They'd open up the booklet and they'd sign that page. That's why it's called a signature page. The only thing on that page is the book title, and the book title is usually about 50% smaller than what it is on the title page. So if you wanted to insert a half title page or a signature page, what you would do, I typically don't include a signature page for the ebook. So this would be for the print book only. I would delete it out. So I don't typically include it in the main text frame for the book title and the copyright. So to do this, what I would do is go to the Pages panel, click on the first page, and go to Insert Page, insert a page before, and assign it whatever master you want. I typically assign it the F title, no ornament, or no page number. Click on OK. And what that does is that creates one page, but it causes everything to reflow because we want the actual title page to be on a right-hand side. So we need to add another page. So we want to insert another page after the one we just added, but we want it to be a blank. So now everything is set properly. We can put our signature page book title on this page. Okay. All right, so now Cheryl's question was, how can she add content after the copyright page, all right, since this is all the front matter? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can come here. This is typically what I do. I have let's say I have my front matter. Let me just pull up a random document. All right, so here's the front matter for this random document. All right, so I'm going to copy this, and I go to the very last page of the copyright page. I'm at the very last line of the copyright page. You can hit enter and then do a Control V to paste what you've got in. Or typically, and when you do that, it automatically increases the pages for the front matter, and it pushes the table of contents to the next, to the end of that, to the end of those linked pages of front matter, okay? Because the contents, I do not include it in the front matter. Reason being, it has, like I think I said this before, it has to be a separate text frame in order for the for the table of contents to work. So now you have all your front matter. You can just start styling it. Other titles. You would need, because of that prep text script, the prep text script only works on the text frame that you're in. So if you've already ran the prep text script in your main document, but you have your front matter separate and your back matter separate, you will have to run that prep text script on every frame. It's not like the find change by list that you can run the script on the whole document. I need to find a way to update this prep text JavaScript. And if I do, I'll put it in the group where it will run on the entire document. And I think that would save a lot of people headache, because I get a lot of people who say, well, I did run the prep text script, but none of my italics were converted to a character style. Guarantee you that is because you were not in the text frame. And so that sometimes can lead to some confusion. Sorry, I just got back from in town. Didn't get in until 2 o'clock this morning, so I'm a little tongue-tied. So anyway, that's how you would add additional pages. And then you would just need to assign master pages to those pages. So this particular one, if I wanted page numbers, it would get the E title, no ornament. These would get, once I styled them, it'd probably only be one page. It would get the A header, and then these, depending on how I wanted the front matter styled. So that's how you add more pages. Now, typically the way I do it is, let me undo everything to a certain point. I will actually go to the last line, and I'm on a PC, so I can hit the enter key on the number pad. And what that does is it inserts the page break. But you could also go to insert, go to type, insert break character, page break. So you could do this as well. And then it looks like it didn't insert a page break because it didn't actually add a physical page, because we still see the contents. But if you paste information or if you start typing, it will add that information in on the following page. Okay. So that is kind of how you add front matter. You could also, if you wanted, you could also go to the copyright, this copyright page here, and insert a new page, and then you could paste the information in a new text frame. So this would be the copyright page, and then that text frame would end with the copyright page, and then a new text frame would begin with all the front matter, and then you'd have the table of contents. Now, if you wanted that front matter after the table of contents, you would just go to the table of contents and insert a page after, and then paste it in there. If you wanted some front matter before or some front matter after, you would insert a new text frame before and then insert a new text frame after. And for the table of contents, now we typically do not include them in print books for novels, but because I do include a table of contents in the actual novel for the ebook file, I typically keep this table of contents page in my print formatting file until the very end. And so what I typically do is on this table of content page, I typically say for ebook only, will be deleted in final print ready PDF, just so the client knows that that page will go away. And sometimes when I send them the PDF, the print ready PDF, I will delete those 2 pages out just so they never see it, but sometimes I'll forget. And then when I go to, when the client says, this file, I approve everything, I'm ready to move forward to the ebook, I will then save this file for the ebook file, and then I will go in and update the print file and remove the table of contents so I don't forget to delete it out. But I typically do not move that. I typically don't delete that until the very end, but you could easily, because you can delete it. You would need to go into the text frame and delete everything to delete it, and it would get rid of it. And then you could always create a new table of contents. All the information is still there. You would just need to place it into a new text frame. So it depends on whatever your workflow is, whether you would want to delete it out and then just add it back in for the ebook, or whether you want to keep it there with the placeholder saying this will be deleted before the final print ready PDF. So, that's just a couple of things. But if you move it off to the side and then go in and add and delete pages, yeah, sometimes things get out of whack. And like, let's say, sometimes, I'm going to delete these 2 pages we created. Sometimes with my book title page, I will put this book title off to the side and include graphics, the graphic title, like I may have the PNG of how the title is on the front cover. So I will use that. Let me kind of show you an example here. Clients, let me think of one I just did. Let's see. Always have to remember how I named it. Do as I say, not as I do, right? All right, let me go to another one because I know title. All right, so this is a title file. PNG title file. So let's say I just wanted, and then I would go in and add her name. Make this a little bit smaller, and then add her name. I would still keep this particular title page. I'd just move it off the page because these are going to be our placements for the text variables. So we don't need a subtitle. And so the title comes through as a text variable here, and the author name comes through as a text variable here based on the information that's on this title page. And the headings for the A header work the same way. It brings in these same text variables. So I don't typically delete this page, even if I don't use it, until the ebook. And then what happens sometimes when, let's say now, we want to add a signature page. Well, that's going to mess this up. And so sometimes that happens. So let's say we're going to insert a EF title before page FMI. All right, and then we're going to copy this onto our half title page, make it, about 50% smaller than it is on our title page. And then we need to add in a blank page after this. So our title page will be on the right side. But what happens is that sometimes this gets moved back in line, or it will get moved to the wrong page. So I'll just bring it up and place it back. So sometimes you do have to move things around, and that's what happens with the table of contents as well. If you pull it off to the side, sometimes it gets moved around. So I hope that helps. You can add as many text frames, individual pages, however you want. It's whatever is going to work for your workflow. This is just what I do for mine.